When to break a promise. How to get out of a promise. Hello, y'all. I'm Diana Brienne. Well, we hear about broken promises, and I've talked about broken promises, and that reflects the person. If someone breaks a promise, they've made a promise, and they really should uphold that promise, then I think that reflects the integrity or lack of integrity that person has. And yet, are there times that we should break a promise? Well, I hope it's far and few between that we need to break a promise. But if we see new information, if someone has lied to us, if someone has deceived us, if something was not the way we were led to, that we believed it to be, or even if we truly know now that is not the right direction to take, that's not the right for us, I think that there are times that it's acceptable to break a promise. Now, it depends upon what it is. There are some situations that, someone signed a contract or some way, that may be more challenging and more difficult to break that promise, that agreement. It just depends upon the kind of contract it is. And, some people can't break a contract. Sometimes people can. But a lot of it has to do with the kind of information that we're receiving, the kind of, whether things have changed or not. And I'm not talking about like getting married and saying, I'm bored with this person now and they're not who I thought that they were, so I'll get a divorce. I'm not talking about that. I believe in commitment. I believe that there are things that we have to commit to, that even when we find out things are different than maybe we had anticipated, things that we should stay in. Now, I'm not saying all marriages should people stay in, but I think most marriages are worth staying in if you were in love and you made the right decision from the very beginning. And so, but there are times and there are situations where, I think that a promise can be broken, and or say circumstances in your own life have changed that you can't fulfill that promise, so you have to change that promise. Sometimes there can be a repercussion to a promise, when we break a promise, sometimes not. Sometimes other people are good with it. They understand or whatever. If we just break a promise to break a promise because, well, we got what we wanted and now we don't feel like honoring that promise, then that shows lack of integrity for the most part, in my opinion. And so we don't want to do that either. So I think it's important to think long and hard before we break a promise. And yet some promises need to be broken rather quickly, especially if we find out that that's not the right direction for us to take. If we've made a wrong choice, a wrong decision, and it's truly a wrong decision, often breaking that promise is the best thing. That doesn't show lack of integrity, that actually shows smarts, because if you find out that that's the wrong direction to take, and it's going to continue to be the wrong direction, often knowing up front and making that change up front is worth the price to have to pay. Sometimes there's not a price to pay. Sometimes things just work out easily when we break a promise that's necessary. But often, we have to remember that if we've made a promise, we've probably thought about what we were making a promise about. And so usually it's not good to break a promise unless we have seen that it's definitely not right for us. I think breaking a promise just because, well, we don't want to, pay for what we got, or we don't want to do what we said that we were going to do to get what we got, I don't think that's right at all. But I think that there are select circumstances that a promise can be broken because it's just not right for our lives anymore. But I think when we do it, we have to put a lot of thought into it, do it in the right way, and be very thoughtful and mindful when doing it, because sometimes promises broke can have repercussions, and we don't want that, okay? And we also remember that it reflects our integrity, so we want to make sure that we are making the right choice and right decision. From my house to yours, may God bless you. I hope you like, share, subscribe, and I hope to talk to you soon again. Bye-bye.